Hello, everyone. There's some issue just now about the breakout room. Now it's solved. So as you can see, this is our program for this hour. We are quite packed with the time and the speakers. So I will start the program by give you a brief introduction about mechanical engineering department, followed by Professor Zhou giving, Professor Zhou is our alumni, our program manager, and so he will give you a more detailed introduction about the program. And then we have three speakers. Dr. Zhu is our alumni from industry, and she will tell us about what industry think and what industry need, and followed by two students. One is current MSc student, and the other one is MSc graduate, now is doing PhD. Okay, so without further ado, I will start with myself. I'm a deputy head of graduate program at the department and in charge of the graduate program. Okay, so I will give you a quick introduction about our department. Okay, our department, mechanical engineering department, in terms of number of students, are largest in the whole faculty. We have about 1,008 students, where 25% are graduate students. All right. In the staff number, we have 60 plus staff, include professor, associate professor, and assistant professor. And within three sections, mechanics and control, manufacture and material, and the thermal fluid. Myself is on the material. I think Professor Zhou is on the applied mechanics. So with the other facility we have 14 labs in the department by the three section, cover quite wide range of mechanical engineering, from manufacture, traditional manufacture, advanced manufacture, material, control, mechatronics, robotics, to the energy, conversion, combustion, thermal system, and so on. So we actually cover quite wide range of topics. Okay, our vision and the mission is really to create the student, to equip them with education, research, and innovation. The research direction actually is very wide, as I said. As you can see here, we cover everything almost from mechanics, control, to thermal fluid, computational fluid mechanics, to advanced manufacturing. So it's cover very wide range. The research funding, we have about 50 million, which is 2/3 from external funding. So our education mainly emphasize on the student should be question mind, should be engaged in the rigorous inquiry beyond the discipline border. Okay, and we want the student to be a responsible member for the society, global citizen, and also be able to communicate with outside world. Okay. Our undergraduate program is 4 years program with, is engineering accreditation board recognized with 4 specialization area and with optional. Graduate program actually, as if you attend yesterday's welcome session by our Westings, we have a research-based program, which is previous hour we have introduced this, and follow this hour and the next hour, we will focus on the two. This hour is on the mechanical engineering, next hour is on the robotics. Okay, our department ranking is here. We are ranking 9th in the world in the subject of mechanics, aeronautic, and the manufacturing engineering. Okay, here is just if you are not from NUS, you can see a little bit about our campus. About 10 minutes walk to the sea. Within the campus, if you travel large distance, you probably can take free shuttle bus. And here is our engineering block. And if you look from the from the top with something like this, also our sport field and our rooftop swimming pool, and also central library and the campus. Okay, so with this, I will stop here, give you, so you have a brief idea about our department. Now I'd like to invite Professor Zhou to give you the sharing about our program. Yeah, Professor Zhou, please.
Thank you. Let me share the screen. So all of you can see my screen. Okay, so I will give you a brief introduction on the MSc Mechanical Engineering program. So this program is aimed to provide students with advanced knowledge and understanding of state-of-the-art in all areas of mechanical engineering. As you might be aware that mechanical engineering is actually very, very broad, and it's almost related to all industry sectors. Just to give you a few industry sectors applications here. For example, aerospace industry, so you will require like design aircraft, drones. This will require fluid mechanics. And you can see also like automotive industry. So nowadays, like autonomous cars and autonomous robots are very, very popular, and also includes the electrical vehicles. And these are all related to the mechanical engineering. And then for example, the like traditional mechanical engineering sector, like construction and buildings, oil and offshores. And you can see that you will require design of bridges, buildings, and even like heating, cooling, and ventilations in the system. This is also related to the mechanical engineering. And in recent years, you also have advanced manufacturing, for example, industrial robots, additive manufacturing, 3D printing. These are the areas of mechanical engineering as well. And not to mention that, power industry and energy industry, like solar cells, renewable energies. And these are the mechanical engineering domain as well. And those also includes like biomedical and healthcare industry and mechatronics and controls. And we have all modules, later on you will see, that covers all these areas. And in fact, our MSc ME program is very, very successful when you can look at a large portion of our graduates as actually find a very decent job in industries in Singapore and overseas. So why our program is so special? First is that we have industry relevant modules in 6 areas, and I will introduce these 6 areas shortly. And you can see that all these 6 areas covers all broad spectrum of mechanical industry sectors. And we also have research projects that will enhance your learning experiences at NUS. And these researching projects allows you to work with professors, and you can also have a chance to work with industry and taking the industry projects and also taking the industry internship during the special terms. So I will move on to the modules, the curriculum structures. The first cluster that I want to discuss is the general module. So we have 4 modules here, and you can see that these are mostly related to the research projects, and with 1 module related to mathematics for engineering research. And these research projects that you can take, and throughout this your MSc study, you are allowed to take a total number of 4 MCs for the research projects. Okay, so now I will move on to 6 clusters of modules that you can see that span all areas of mechanical engineering. So first cluster I want to discuss is applied mechanics. And you can see that within this category, and you will have plate and shear stress analysis, engineering acoustics, vibration theory, optical measurement techniques. And these are the 5 modules, altogether 20 MCs. And next cluster is the fluid mechanics. And within this cluster, there are a lot of modules, 10 modules, and they can be classified into 3 categories. The first category is traditional fluid mechanics, like computational fluid mechanics, experimental fluid mechanics. And the second category is related to the computation, because the fluid mechanics, there are lots of computer simulation and computation techniques. So we have 2 modules, like data-driven engineering and machine learning, and advanced computational fluid dynamics. And the third category is related to oil and offshore industry. So you can see that we have oil and gas technology, subsea systems, subsea construction, and operational support. Next cluster is related to energy and biothermal system. Within this cluster, and you can see that you will learn the air conditioning and building automation, energy engineering, solar energy systems, as well as heat transfer. So the next cluster is control and mechatronics. And within this cluster, and you see that all these modules related to the linear system, control theory, computation, neural nets, machine vision, robotics is all clustered within this cluster, and you have altogether 9 modules, a total of 36 MCs. So next cluster is the materials, and these will cover traditional material science and material engineering, and we will have 7 modules covering corrosion of materials, deformation, fracture, fatigue of the materials, and so on. And last cluster is related to the manufacturing, and within this cluster you have 5 modules, and this related to the additive manufacturing and non-conventional manufacturing process, sustainable product design, and computer-aided product development, and so on. So as you can see that we have a wide range of modules for you to choose. So this is the uniqueness of our program. So which means that you can adjust your interest and plan your career path carefully to select these modules. So as you can see that we do have a very large number of modules, but you don't have to learn, you don't have to choose all to complete the program. So the program only requires you to obtain 40 MCs, which is equivalent about 10 modules. And in order to graduate with MSc mechanical engineering degree, and you have to have a minimum CAP or cumulative average points of 3.0, which is equivalent to B-. And regarding the candidature, you can have like for full time you can have minimum of 1 year and a maximum of 2 years. I will have a little bit of comments in the later slides. Right, and then we also provide 2 specializations. One is a computation and modeling specialization, and the other is advanced manufacturing specialization. In order to specialize in these 2 domains, what you do is you have to choose 5 modules. For example, in the specialization category. For example, for the computation and modeling specialization, what you will do is you choose 5 modules from this module list and obtain a grade of at least B-, and then you choose rest 5 modules from other mechanical engineering modules. And if you fulfill these requirements, you will be awarded specialization in computation and modeling. And the second specialization is in the advanced manufacturing. In order to achieve this the specialization, what you will do is you need to choose the core module, which is ME 5608, additive and non-conventional manufacturing process. And then you choose 4 modules from this elective module list. And you fulfill the advanced manufacturing specialization, and the rest of 5 modules, you can choose all other mechanical engineering modules. All right, so let's talk about the admission requirements. So usually we will require a degree with honors or equivalent from a renowned university, right? So preferably from the mechanical engineering also. So if you don't fulfill these requirements, we do also have considerations in this, special considerations in this, but you will need to have at least 2 years of working experience, and perhaps we'll go through an interview process. And for those whose course does not using English as the language for teach the course, you will probably need to obtain the TOEFL or IELTS test. And we do have 2 intakes per year. The first intake is August intake, and the second is a January intake. For the closest intake now is the January intake. The application period is from 15th July to 31st August this year. And the tuition fees for this program, the tuition fee is program-based. So for now, for the next academic year, which is 2022 and 2023, the cost is SGD 44K. 44.9K, and for locals like Singapore citizen and Singapore permanent residents, you will have a rebate if you have given the offer, and is due do take notes that the tuition fee is actually reviewed yearly. So these are for the next academic year, and more details you can visit this website. And the study duration, as I said, for the full-time students can be spent from 1 year to 2 years, and you have to plan accordingly. And for international students, the student's visa is 2 years for the full-time students. And the Singapore Migration Authority requires the full-time students to have at least 12 MCs or 3 modules per semester, except the last semester. So you do need to pay attention to that, and to plan your graduation or study period carefully. So for example, if you want to graduate in 2 semesters, you can choose 5 modules per semester, and then you can successfully graduate within 1 year. And you want to graduate, just above 1 year, and then you can choose 2 semesters. And plus a special term. The special term meaning that we do have 2 special terms in from May to July. And if you want to plan 3 or 4 semesters, you can also do that. Okay, so for more information, you can visit this website. And if you have more questions, you can contact our officer, Ms. Lee Mun-Kyo. And with that, I will stop here. If you have any questions, you can post on the chat session, and we'll try to answer it. If not, we will answer it through the email. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Professor Zhou. Okay. As probably you heard from our Westing, actually the purpose of this coursework program is to help the student to equip the better knowledge for to find a job. So now I'd like to invite one of our alumni, Dr. Zhu Jing, from a company, to give her sharing about what company required and what kind of people company would like to have, and so forth. So yeah, Dr. Zhu.
Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for invitation from Prof. Zheng to join this talk. Talk about the postgraduate education in mechanical engineering. I graduated from the NUS in 2012, major in material engineering in Department of Mechanical Engineering. After graduation, I always work in industry areas. Currently, I'm an engineering consultant, work in a German company, which is a global leader in inspection and certification for all industry areas. So based on the nature of my work, so every day I in contact with and familiar with a lot of different industry areas, such as aerospace, transportation, infrastructure. Then in Singapore, petrol, oil, chemical, as well as medical devices. So as a engineering consultant, we provide the technical support to various industries. We feel that the different industries, they have different preference when they hiring graduate, especially postgraduate. For example, the master and the PhD students. So today the topic I share with you is about things industries look for when hiring postgraduates. Even the requirement is different, but for most industry areas, sectors in science and engineering base, postgraduate, they should have very specific skills and technical capabilities to complete the task first. So that's the first requirement for industry hiring. In addition, the strong soft skills and the suitable personal characters are very important for the career development of postgraduate. Firstly, the employers of the company do, of course, look at academic qualifications first. Firstly, they need to consider how well your academic qualifications are matched with the role, especially the research and development positions, or some special like the process engineer, quality control, especially for pharmacy, electronics. So they have a very specific, the major requirement. And they also counsel about the subjects during your postgraduate study. So they check how impressive of your grades, and as well as the case subject. In addition, your final year project sometimes play significant roles when you have find a job. Because some positions, if you got the relevant experience in your final year project, they will consider you got the partial industry experience. It's not a fresh graduate. So when you find a job, you can check your background and how your background match with the positions. The thirdly is to check whether you have required the specialized knowledges. For example, they request the special skills, how to handle the specific equipment, how to do the data analysis, the model, the software. This all related to the specific technical positions. Because normally for postgraduate, the company have postgraduate for some senior and executive level job positions. They need the basic background. For some positions, the soft skills is more important than hard skills. For example, like the consultation or the customer relationship, the positions, they quite emphasize on soft skills. This table lists the top 10 soft skills. It's mostly counseled by all industry areas. But for postgraduate, especially the PhD or master students, I feel the following three soft skills are quite competitive for postgraduate. First one is time management skills. We know as a student, especially the MSc or PhD students, your motivate is to complete your project on time, then submit within the deadline. This is a very seriously motivation to practice and develop your excellent time management skills. These time management skills will be useful in your future career. For example, you know how to set the goals, then you define the deadline, then you match the deadline to finish your project very well. Yeah, that's a very key important skills. The second one is accelerated learning. Learning means you have the capability to understand the technical procedures, the models, the softwares, or the methodologies in a short period. So you can have the self-learning and the accelerated learning method and the capabilities. So you can quick understanding to get the key concept. The third one is critical thinking and analysis. We know as a postgraduate student, normally you are able to analyze data, results, and through the logic reasoning to solve the problem. So you can collect data, analysis it, and make conclusion by yourself. Critically examine everything in front of you and deliver the logic reasoning. That's all very important, especially for product development positions for postgraduate. Then finally, the employers try to find positive character traits. Those might influence the whole team also. The firstly is positivity. A work environment can be quite influenced by personal positivity, which is why positivity is a top quality that they look for. The positive people in the team can create healthy work environment and are often valuable members of a team to make the team is more productive. Second one is flexibility. Flexibility is a capability whether you can take changes as they come. For example, in some conditions, you need to work outside of your job description. So it means you work other, then you cover your colleagues for some times. Then sometimes you need to switch in your work hours when needed, especially for some sales positions and consultation positions. So the working time and the frequency is not fixed. So the flexibility is very important. The third one is ambition. Is a key trait that industries look for. For example, when a new project begins, you need to set a goal for yourself and push you towards complement. You take extra time and learn new skills, new process. So this kind of people like to complete the task and the work as quickly and effectively as you can. So normally they can produce excellent results. That's why the employers, they like this kind of the postgraduate. The finally is a strong work ethic. Work ethic is quite common in industry or the other company. It's easy to understand why employers they value hardworking employees. The hardworking employees, the most important point is they concern their bosses, their co-workers, and the customers. So they want to try their best to contribute themselves, to take their job seriously and complete every task to the best of their capability. So amongst all candidates, so these 4 traits will help you to attract the attention of the industry employers. Then the above the mentioned hard skills, I mean the technology and the knowledge and the skills and the soft skills and the characters might help the postgraduate to prepare very well for your industry careers. Thank you. That's my sharing.
Thank you, Dr. Zhu Jing, and very useful for the student to see what really need. So next, I'd like to invite Mr. Fu Xiangli. He's our current MSc student, and to share his experience with mechanical engineering department. Yeah, Mr. Fu, please.
Right, thanks, Prof. Hi everyone, can you all see my screen and hear me well? Yep. Okay, great. Yeah, so hello and good morning, afternoon or evening, everyone. Thank you for taking your time out to join this webinar. I'm Xiang Li, and I'll be taking around probably 4 to 5 minutes of your time to share with you my experiences thus far while pursuing my MSc from the MechEng department. So a little background about myself. I graduated from NUS back in 2020 in chemical engineering. I worked for about 1.5 years in a public service before I decided to pursue my postgrad study at the MechEng department. So what really drew me to this program? Really, there are 3 reasons. First is the fact that the department has incorporated sustainability and energy storage technologies curriculum and modules. And I really want to learn about topics regarding energy storage. So that is the main magnet for me, for drawing me to the MechEng department. And I've listed examples of such modules that I've taken at the previous semester. So my review is that these modules includes a good depth and breadth of topics. Not only do you learn the science behind these technologies, but it also includes other important extra contents such as financial analysis. Secondly, there's the optional ME 5001 project that was previously mentioned, which also appeals to me because it gives me the opportunity to participate in a research project and expose me to the research themes of the department. Enter and work in a lab, get my hands dirty, rather than just sitting in a classroom all day. Lastly, of course, as a master's degree, advanced degree, there are also modules that help me to develop a more advanced knowledge in certain topics, which complements my bachelor's curriculum. Right, so after spending a semester in this program, these are my experiences thus far. One is that I really like the learning style. It is a mixture of collaborative and independent study through group and individual term papers, which contributes part of your grades. And so, as what Dr. Zhu previously mentioned, is the ability to collaborate, to work together that will allow you to succeed in the corporate life. And the school does incorporate such elements to their learning curriculum. And it's actually very fun to collaborate and work with your classmates, because your classmates are going to come from a diverse background, different nationalities, different majors, different experiences. And so the combination of these collaborative independent learning together with such a diverse group of classmates is going to make a more interesting and matured learning environment. So my last slide here is for our friends who did not graduate from NUS or our international friends who are considering to come to Singapore for postgrad studies. I warmly welcome you to Singapore. NUS has quite a modern and rather good-looking campus. Just look at my virtual background. It's quite a pretty building, in the evening. And the campus has multiple facilities and quite a vibrant community. Lots of arts and festivals activities which you can enjoy. And also the campus is quite multicultural, and when you have different cultures coming here, means there are also going to be a variety of different foods here. And also the campus is very easily accessible by multiple modes of public transport with a network of internal shuttle bus to bring us around. Yeah, so that's all I have for today. Hope it was informative for you in making your decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fu. Very nice, informative talk. So I hope, student can get some idea. So the last one, I like to invite one of the MSc alumni, Mr. Dai Weiheng. And Weiheng actually now is doing PhD at the department. Actually, he graduated from Master of Science 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. And now he's halfway on his PhD study. So actually, you can see our master program not only help you in the, in the job career, and it also can help a lot if you want to continue your study. So Weiheng, now all yours.
Okay, thank you very much. And let me share my screen. Can I see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, hello everyone, and I really appreciate for the opportunity to give such a presentation about my experience in NUS. And hello everyone, my name is Dai Weiheng, and I'm class of 2020 Master of Science ME graduates. So my title here is being curious and get exploring. So for my side, it's more specific to when you want to really pursue your PhD degree, maybe in the US or in all the other country. And so firstly, I really want to ask a question, and this is really important. So do you really want to pursue a PhD degree? And I think it's kind of hard because it's a 4-year journey, and it might be stalled at some point because of research. And another point is, for example, is low in salary, but I think it's only temporary because you can get much higher salary in almost case, so in the future. And there are also some potential risks you may get failed. But there are also a lot of advantage when you pursue a PhD. So you can broaden your horizons, and you can learn a lot of things that interesting to you, and you can learn it freely because in your PhD journey, you can try all the things, and you just make contribution to a community that's really interesting to you. And as I can see, so you can be more qualified than the other applicants when you're hunting the job when you graduate. And yeah, I think we'll have much higher salary, but I don't know because I haven't graduated yet. And there are also a lot of traveling opportunities when you submit some papers, and you get the opportunity to traveling all around the world. So let me introduce my experience in the US. So the slide is pretty simple, and I think there are threefold. So the first one is coursework, and Prof. and Prof. Joe has already introduced all the modules, and the previous two alumni or current students have also introduced about some of the projects or the course. And here I like to say that these modules are really useful, and I think the most valuable thing here is actually the projects. So in all the coursework, it's actually no exception. All the coursework mainly have some project or the term paper, and this is really a good thing that to help you implement your knowledge. It's not like stay in all the lectures and all the books, but you can use this knowledge in your paper or in some application. It's really in the implementable level. And here's another thing that is about the project. It's a pretty big project called ME 5001, and there are also some projects at the same level. And I think this really gives you a chance to choose and learn from your supervisor. You can surf around the NUS ME website, find out all the academic stuff, and look at their research interests and find out whether there is something that's really interesting to you. If you don't have such a research interest yet, and it gives you a chance to really follow this supervisor's guidance, and they will guide you to do all the stuff that's really interesting. So for me, I have tried 2 separate projects. So the first one is about this robot, so hexball robot. I write some code about how to stabilization of this robot, and at the second semester, I actually changed a little bit. So there is a project with collaborate with T-Lab. So it's about the multi-agent, so multi-drones. It's also a really interesting project and applying the reinforcement learning to control multi-UAVs to search around the given domain. So this is more like in research. I won't go into details about this. And also another thing I want to say is about the traveling. So luckily, right now, I think the pandemic is almost run away. And at 2020, at that time, the pandemic just broke out, and I nearly be blocked in Singapore for about 3 years. And right now, you are in the center of Southeast Asia. You can traveling around all the Southeast Asia country, nearly at like 2 hours flight. So it's pretty easy to get around all the Southeast Asia countries. And here is something about advantage for me, I think, which the master degree can help you help you pursuing your PhD. So firstly, it could get ready earlier for your coursework pressure, because actually you can take, if you continue applying the PhD in NUS, you can actually transfer some of your credits to your PhD degree, and which release a lot of the pressure for your PhD degree. And the second one is you really have some opportunity to show yourself to your supervisor if he's the one you really like, really ideal to you, and you want to apply his PhD. And now you have the opportunity because of the ME 501, and it show your ability to her or him. And then when he chooses his candidate, you must be superior than the others because you are the one with close contact with him. And the third point is get used to the academic atmosphere in school. So basically you have stayed here for about 1 or 2 years, so you can definitely get familiar with the academic and all the culture in Singapore. And the last thing is, I think you can, this actually give you another chance for you to really try things that may be interesting to you, because for PhD, then it's kind of like the last chance for you to switch your research direction. And now you have this master degree, and then you have a second chance because you can try this for about 1 year, and you know whether this is really your ideal direction. And then you can determine whether this is really suitable for you to further pursuing the PhD degree. So I think that's all for my presentation, and thank you everyone for listening.
Okay, thank you, Wei Heng. Okay, so this end all the presentation. All right. So we still have some time to to answer your questions, and actually next hour is robotic, and if you have a question, and you can come to there also. So if you have a question, you can tap this here, and I saw there are a couple of questions. I'm just try to give a brief answer. Okay, so for MSc program, we don't need a GRE. All right, so the only thing we need is English. Now the other thing is there's a student ask about the cap. I mean, cap is where NUS calculation of the grade. So if you are from other country, we look your the grading level of your university, maybe like percentage, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 100. So we will look into that, for individual university. If you are from NUS, NTU, of course, we all use the same system. All right. So the project module is not compulsory; it's optional, and actually a lot of students are interested to do a project to get some idea about the the research. All right. Yeah, there's a question about this. His first degree is from EE. Actually, EE and ME has a lot of common. All right, the common things we call the mechatronics and the control. So a lot of EE actually module are suitable for ME. But to put it more broad, if your first degree is not mechanical engineering, I mean, it's from other engineering sectors, we just need to look your the individual background you have. As Prof. Zhou just showed, our course is quite wide. We have a control, we have a manufacturer, we have a material, and we have energy, and so you actually can always find the some suitable courses in this overall list. Okay. Okay, what is does MEng mechanic? Okay, the MEng mechanic is different. Okay, it's a research program. Okay, so that is different. MEng does not need a GRE, but the PhD need a GRE. All right. The application, as Professor Zhou mentioned, we have 2 years, 2 intake. Okay, so the closed one is January 2023. The application will open in the middle of July. And for August 2023, for example, if now you are year 3, you are thinking about apply next year, that application will open sometime in December this year. So December from this year, December to March, end of March next year is the application period for the August intake. Okay, so you can based on what time you're going to graduate from your undergraduate, and then you can actually look our website when the application start. Okay, during that time, then during that period you can make application to the online application. There is a question asked certificate verification. I'm not quite understand this question, but what I know is when the student report to NUS, when they make the registration in the beginning of August, I think you need to show your graduation certificate. Okay, the physically. Okay, show that. So we will. We will see. Okay. What is an employee or academic recommendation required for admission process? For the MSc Prof. Zhou, we don't need a recommendation, right?
Yes, we don't need.
Yeah, we don't need the recommendation. You need to fill up the online application form, submit all the required.
Yeah, the thing is that if you don't meet our requirements, like the honors degree, and you can try to submit, we will look into your experience quite carefully. We'll look at your industrial experience, how many years of working in the industry, and your previous scores and all these things. And we will also probably arrange interviews to look at your performance and decide whether you will be given the offer or not.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because our MSc, we actually have a lot of part-time students who is already working, and for those working professionals, we also look their working experience and in addition to their background. Control and mechatronic branch in mechanical of science and robotics. Oh, okay. Control and mechatronics is one of the section or division in our department. All right. So we have 3 divisions. One is mechanics and control. The other one is thermal fluid, and the third one is manufacture and material. So mechatronics and control is within the mechanics and the control division. All right. So robotics is the most of people working on robotics are within that section, in the control section. But there are also people outside in other section, other division working like a material for robotics, maybe like a microsystem. It's also maybe somehow sensors all also related to robotics. But the main body of the robotics is in the control division. Yeah. Okay, maybe we have okay, here's another one. I'm an MSc student. Do I need to provide a TOEFL score when applying a PhD, or just need to provide GRE score? Yeah, if you MSc graduate and you don't need to provide the TOEFL or IELTS anymore, but if you apply for August next year, you need to have a GRE result. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think we have a time maybe for answer 1 or 2 more questions, and the event MC actually asked me to end the session. They need to prepare for the next one. So actually, next one, Prof. Zhou and me are still there because it's a robotic program, and the robotic program is also hosted by our department. So if you have more questions, you can join the next session in 10 minutes time, and also you continue ask questions, and so if you have no more questions, I say we will end this session for now, and take a rest and take a short break, maybe 10 minutes, and start at 6 o'clock. We will talk about robotics. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the speaker. Thank you for joining, Dr. Zhu and Wei Heng, and thank you for attending this session. And Prof. Zhou and I will be, in the next session also.
Yeah.
Okay. See you then.
Okay.
Bye.
See you.